It's my life. I'll do what I want.
Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. I have to immediately get into this video. Today's Tuesday. I was supposed to record yesterday, but I didn't. But today is Tuesday, November 25th, and as the world has found out, this is like the day after the decision to not indict Darren Wilson. So my city's not very happy right now. If you've seen my new YouTubers tag, you know I'm from St. Louis. So but I don't live in Ferguson, so I'm not extremely close to all of the craziness. But yeah, please pray for my city. This is crazy. This is really crazy. I won't get into that at all, so I'm going to get straight into this. How to Get Away with Murder. Interesting. Season finale, winter season finale. I think this is the 9th episode, maybe the 10th. Who knows? So I definitely gotta get into this. Stay tuned. All the details, all the information, right here on this channel. So, yeah, let's get into it. This season finale was filled with a lot of information we already knew. As we've seen throughout the entire season, winter season, we have seen bits and pieces of this whole night happening. The night Sam was murdered. We've seen it all happening. So, I think for the most part, there was probably like 30 minutes of information that we already knew, and then like 10 or 20 minutes of new information. It wasn't much new information, but altogether it was an excellent story, and Shonda did a really good twist on the end of it. I did not expect what happened to happen at all. So I'm just going to kind of piece the new information in. And then, you know, you guys have, if you've watched the entire season, all of my recaps, you already know the previous information. I kind of did a recap before about what I believed happened, but now I know. So, yeah, this just, we first enter off with the story of Rebecca going to get the information from Sam's laptop. So she goes there once Wes and them realize she's gone. Him, Connor, and Laurel decide they're going to go find her. It is at that point that Wes informs Laurel and Connor that Sam killed Lila. Now, before Rebecca can make it to the house, Michaela shows up first with a trophy. And literally, she is completely innocent in the entire thing. She knew nothing. And she was just coming to drop off her trophy so she can get out of that final that they were about to take. That's all she wanted to do, was get out of the final. So, but by the time she's, you know, trying to, find Miss Keaton. Now, Sam and Miss Keaton had gotten into an argument, so she had left. So he was there alone, and then Michaela shows up, and then Rebecca shows up right behind her. But of course, Rebecca, she thinks she owned the universe, so she just walks through the door. Michaela's like knocking, and hey, and just wants to drop this up to Miss Keating. Rebecca just enters in like she owned the place. So she like heads towards the steps, and he's like, okay, what is going on? Because I feel like the two of y'all are doing something together. And she's like, okay, seriously, Michaela's like, I'm seriously here to drop off this trophy so I can get out of this final, because you don't even know the struggle, okay? And Rebecca is like, she looks dead at Michaela, is like, call Wes. And so, as she jots up the stairs, she locks herself in this room with his laptop. She's trying to get the information. Michaela does call Wes, and now Wes and them are headed over to the apartment. While Rebecca is in this room, she's locked herself in this room. And before Wes and them can show up, Sam breaks down the door to the room, and she locks herself inside of the bathroom that's inside of the bedroom with the laptop. So Sam's trying to do all this coaxing to get her out of there. It takes Wes to say, okay, come on, Rebecca, I'm right here. He's not going to do anything. He said he'd calm down. Just come out of there. She still won't get out until she's done with the file. So she completely gets the entire file. I don't know why, but on TV shows, it always seems like you can do something, plug in something to a computer. It takes 3 seconds for it to upload, download, do whatever. Every time it's a TV show, it takes like 20 minutes for it to finally get onto the flash drive. So, of course, it takes forever. But it finally comes on there, and Rebecca finally opens the door and walks out. Now, Sam said he wasn't going to do anything, but the minute he walks past her, I think she either set the laptop down or gave him the laptop, but either way, when she walks past him, he immediately pounces on her to get this flash drive out of her hand. So they get to tussling. She drops the flash drive. Wes tries to break up the confrontation between Connor and Laurel. They end up somebody grabs the flash drive, so now he's chasing after them. And so he's kind of coming towards Michaela, And Michaela is just kind of like a natural instinct, you know, it's like somebody's coming towards you, you know, like a fly in your face, you just jot it away. So she just kind of like did this. Unfortunately, she was standing next to the banister, right at the edge of the steps. So when she pushes him, he literally flies over the banister and onto the floor. Sounds like he dies immediately because you can hear what sounds like his spine break. Like literally, like he snapped something. So you think he's dead. But it didn't even occur to me because I know that he was killed with the trophy. But, you know, immediately when he immediately falls, it's like, okay, he's dead. So now these kids are trying to figure out what are they going to do. Meanwhile, Keaton is sitting outside of a police station trying to figure out whether or not she's going to go in. And Bonnie is at a bar trying to drink her problems away, okay? She is not a happy camper right now. But they're all talking and they're like, Michaela, you killed him. Michaela, you killed him. You killed. And she's like, oh my God. She's freaking out because, you know, she doesn't know anything. By then, now they're finally telling her, well, Sam killed Lila. So this is like fair game. This is just, you know, an eye for an eye. But as they're talking, you all of a sudden hear Rebecca choking. And it is Sam on top of her, literally choking her. And you could see the anger in his face, the frustration in his face. You can see how angry he was. He wanted that girl dead. And then all of a sudden we know the trophy is in somebody's hand. It is whacked across his head, and you could tell he's dead immediately because the second that he's hit with the trophy, blood splatters everywhere all over Rebecca. That's how she got covered in blood. And then they pan to each person, and of course Wes is the one that did it. Nobody else cares about Rebecca enough to stop Sam from killing her like that. They were just all going to watch it happen. But Wes is the one that really loves her, so of course he has to Captain Save-A-Ho and save the day. So he goes and does that, and now he's dead for real. So at this point is when everybody loses their mind. They lose all common sense and all, like, it's such a common thing to like go and say, hey, this was self-defense. He was literally killing her, and I stopped him from killing her. That was considered self-defense of a third person, which you can get away with. It's because you're doing an act of saving someone else's life. It's as if you were saving yourself. Somebody came at you with a gun, and you shoot them instead. That was self-defense. If somebody came to someone else with a gun, and you can see that they're defenseless, and you shoot them, that's still self-defense, but it's self-defense of a third person because you were protecting someone else. Either way, Michaela whole time is like, let's call the cops. They're like, no, we can't call them. So by then, Bonnie has decided she's going to get with this man at the bar, and awkward situation, but they end up sleeping together. And because of that, she decides to call Asher. Asher was planning to have the party with the bonfire party at his house. So she's like, hey, can I drop by? And so he was like, well, it really isn't a party anymore. Nobody's here. She was like, come on. I gotta take my mind off. I just want to drop by. So she drops by over there. So that's how they end up together. And by the time she calls him, of course, we know that he literally almost gets hit with the car with them. So that's by then when they're deciding to go and destroy the body. So we see that Keaton goes over. She decides not to go to the police department. She goes over to Nate's apartment instead. And she ends up sleeping with Nate. I don't know. Why in the movies you just can't keep away from an ex? She can't stay away from him. So she ends up sleeping with him. So you really see that. And then by then we see that Wes has this consolation like, okay, I've hit this man with this trophy. By this point he has already taken Rebecca, put her in the hotel, and he's already told the kids to go out to the middle of the woods and he'll meet them there later. So he's standing in the middle of the street and he realizes, I hit this man with this trophy. My prints are all over the trophy, and I just gotta leave him there. I can't just leave him there. So you see from there, he goes back and gets the trophy and he apologizes. And then that's when this whole thing, he meets back up with the kids. They go and, you know, decide to destroy this body and get rid of the evidence. That's why he lies and says heads. It was actually tails when they wasn't supposed to do it, and they end up doing it anyway. You see the whole thing plot out and happen. And interesting enough, they were supposed to completely destroy the body, destroy the evidence, and I think they were supposed to bury it. By the time they got done with all the stuff that they were doing, it was daybreak. Connor was sick and pissed off and tired, he just threw the body in the trash. So of course somebody's going to find Sam in 4 body bags in a dumpster in the middle of nowhere. They're going to find it, and it's going to open up a whole new can of worms. But we'll see about that next season. They all separate to deviate and find their alibis and all that kind of stuff. At this point, once the situation is done, I always thought that Connor, when he had his hyperventilation point, I thought that was after he slept with the boy in the office that killed himself. It had nothing to do with that. It was actually from that night. So he went to Oliver. Connor went to Oliver. Laurel went to Frank. And really she needed him. I thought she was going to tell him about the whole thing. She never did. She actually informed him about having the trophy. And she needed him to help her put the trophy back without Asher knowing that she took it. Which Asher already knew she didn't take it. Come on. But Frank doesn't know that. So whatever. And then Michaela, so disappointed in her. She went to her future mother-in-law and signed that darn prenup. I am so upset at her. If you honestly love this man, and I know his mama could probably, she could probably hide your body and make wolves eat it, like for real. I'm disappointed in Michaela. I just really wanted her to like fight his mother tooth and nail, prove that she was there because she loved that man and not for his money. But I just feel like she needed a safety net, because at this point she's in a lot of secret trouble, so she needed a safety net, so she just decided to sign it and leave it alone. I'm so disappointed in her. Of course, Wes went back to Rebecca. He ended up staying with her that night, and the next morning he woke up, she was gone. He thought she went off and went away somewhere, but she just went to get coffee and donuts. And she came back, and he took the flash drive. The whole thing about the flash drive, that, yes, completely trash. Just broke it, took the piece, probably put one in the Jordan River, took one over to East Jesus, took the third one down the toilet. Like, he just destroyed the whole thing. And it made sense why, you know, she's like, well, why would you do that? Because that proves that he did it. Yes, and it also proves that you were at his house. And it also proves that we killed him. And it also proves that we're all going to jail. So, we're going to have to destroy this so that nothing can come back to us. So, I understand why he did it, but I'm just like, I at least would have looked at the information first before destroying it, but he didn't do that ahead of time. So the whole thing, after all of that is said and done, the entire thing is left on this one point where Wes realizes he has killed this man, and the evidence to connect him to his murder, because before then they had decided to get rid of that body. That body was going to stay there and lay there dead with blood all over the place. It was just going to lay there. And this is when he realizes, okay, let me go and get this trophy, because this is really, really bad on me. This is really, really bad on me. So he decides to go get the trophy. So the whole time while these people are, you know, destroying the body, Keaton is leaving a voicemail on her husband's phone. And this is very intimate, very heartfelt, passionate message. I am so sorry about what we went through. I apologize, and I just want you to come home, because, you know, by then she can't find her husband. She's already called Bonnie. She can't find her husband, so she knows something's wrong. So, and she's like, please just come home. And she just lives this really heartfelt, but then, you know, they're destroying. So, but we leave the entire point of this entire episode is this moment when Wes is like, I have to get this trophy. So he decides to go back to the apartment or house and get the trophy, because it's still laying exactly where he dropped it after he hit him. So the way that the body's like right in the middle of the floor, like there's a hallway and then there's like our living room. He's like right between the doorway of the hallway and the living room, and he's just laying there knocked out dead, and the trophy is there. So Wes goes back. Now he has on gloves. He gets the trophy, picks it up, and he looks dead at him. This is when you know Wes is just like this really dumb kid. Like, I don't know. It's like he has a heart, but then he's just like really stupid. It's at that moment he picks up the trophy and he looks down at Sam and says, I'm sorry. And all of a sudden, this is where Shonda just like threw everybody for a loop. All of a sudden, you hear Viola Davis say, don't be. Don't even worry about it. It happens. Let it go. whatever, to know in the end that after all of that happened, so before she went to Nate's apartment, after she came back from the police department, she came back home. While they were gone, she found her husband on the floor, and she's just sitting there at the desk like, la 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 la. There's not a dead man on my floor. And Wes walks in. This entire reason why Wes is so bent and so desperate to get rid of this lie about the heads or tails thing is because I believe Annalise put him up to it. I know that you did it. Don't worry about it happening. It was bound to happen anyway. Now I need you to cover this up. It's kind of like a flashback because her husband is missing. She's left this thing. So now she called Bonnie and made everybody come back to work. The police were on their way because now she's reported her husband missing. She's tried to contact him. She cannot find him. He's not answering his phone or anything like that. So she calls the police, which, because Annalise is a freaking genius, she knows the right thing to do. The same thing these stupid fools should have did from the beginning. Call the police. So she calls the police and she's like, okay, I need everybody's honesty on this. Please, if you have any information regarding my husband, they're going to ask you a lot of questions. Please just answer them truthfully and honestly, because, yeah, I cannot find my husband. So she's in tears and everything. She's no makeup, no wig, no nothing. She's in a robe. So you can tell, she's like in this state of mourning. Because she can't find her husband. Really, she's mourning because her husband is dead and she knows that. So it's at that point where they flash back to when Wes picks up the trophy, says, I'm sorry, and Annalise is sitting there like, don't be. So, because she kind of knew the truth. And I think in her mind, if he hadn't have done it, she would have. It was a great episode. It was a great season. I absolutely love the show. Definitely going to be watching next season. I had to let you guys know whether I decide to do recaps on it again. If you guys want me to do it, please leave comments down below, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll make sure that when the next season comes, I will definitely do them again. But I only do it if you want me to. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll make sure I continue to bring you all the good things you love to see. Alright, until next time, guys. Bye.